Title: The Reed Hastings Blueprint, Unlocking Success Through Innovation, Courage, and Culture. Chapter 1. Title: From Classrooms to Streaming Empires, The Journey of Reed Hastings. Reed Hastings' story begins in a small town in Texas, growing up surrounded by a curiosity for technology and a yearning to change the way people consumed media. As a computer science student at the University of Houston, he discovered that nothing was truly fixed. Software could rewrite the future. After a stint at the National Science Foundation, he became a senior engineer at a computer rental company that would later become Intuit. It was during this time that he identified a gap. Consumers were tired of flipping channels and purchasing physical discs. In 1997, he co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph, armed with one bold idea: deliver movies to people's homes via a subscription service. The first day the company mailed a DVD to a customer in Iowa, Hastings whispered, "We did it." The company's early days proved a crucible of risk, learning, and relentless perseverance. When the internet's speed was slow and online video was a gamble, Hastings continued to push, always asking, what if we could deliver instant gratification 24/7? Over the years, Hastings faced a flood of setbacks: poor content deals, legal hurdles, and fierce competition. Yet each obstacle was a lesson in flexibility. When Netflix's original series House of Cards faced a boycott of a star, Hastings said, "We cannot afford to stifle creativity for fear of immediate backlash." That risk paid off, as the series set the stage for what would become one of the most recognizable names in entertainment. Hastings' journey is a testament to the power of a vision anchored in curiosity and reinforced by disciplined execution. The key takeaway is clear. The path to innovation is paved with willingness to fail, learn, and persist. Conclusion and takeaways. Embrace failures as inevitable stepping stones. Stay relentlessly curious and open to new paradigms. Build a business around a single, unwavering vision. Call to action. If this story inspired you, hit the like button, share with someone who needs a spark, and subscribe for more lessons from the world's boldest innovators. Reflective question: what would your "I did it" moment look like if you pursued your biggest idea with confidence? Chapter 2. Title: Freedom, Responsibility, and the Reed Hastings Philosophy. Reed Hastings' corporate culture is renowned for a paradoxical blend of absolute freedom and unmatched responsibility. In an interview, he stated, "The fundamental premise of our culture is that employees are free to make decisions, but they are ultimately accountable for the outcomes." The principle manifests in Netflix's famed Keeper Test, an intuitive yet tough rule that employees evaluate whether they keep each other on the team. Another cornerstone is the principle of innovation through de-risking. When Hastings first launched streaming, he recognized that success would come only by iterating on failure. He famously wrote, "We're not creating a business plan, we are conducting a series of experiments." Thus, risk is not a byproduct but a vital ingredient of progress. The third core element is data over intuition. Hastings constantly reminds teams that decisions should arise from analytics and observable outcomes, not gut feelings. His early use of sophisticated recommendation algorithms for movies is a prime example, showing how data transforms personalization and keeps users engaged. Motivational insight. Freedom fuels creativity. Responsibility curbs reckless actions. Embrace risk as an experiment rather than a threat. Let data guide decisions, allowing intuition to be informed, not blind. Concrete application example. If you're leading a team, adopt a keeper test. Ask, "Do you want to keep this colleague?" If the answer is no, provide constructive feedback and either reassign or let them go. This tough process ensures the right people stay and remain accountable. Secondly, set up a small experiment for 1 quarter. Change the color of your company website and measure user engagement. Keep what works, discard what doesn't. Thirdly, use data dashboards, such as Google Analytics or custom dashboards, to review your marketing funnel, eliminating decisions that are made based on emotion. Conclusion and takeaways. Pair freedom with accountability to create high-performing teams. Experiment relentlessly. Failure is a data point, not a verdict. Let data illuminate your next step. Call to action. Enjoying these insights? Click the like button, share the empowerment video, and subscribe for more actionable wisdom. Reflective question: what if your organization treated risk as a learning opportunity rather than a liability? Chapter 3. Title: From Risk to Resilience: How Hastingss Translated Philosophy into Action. Reed Hastings did not simply talk about freedom and data, he lived them. In 2007, when Netflix decided to transition from a DVD by mail service to a streaming platform, the internet bandwidth across the country was still limited. Hastingss' team tested millions of data points to determine bandwidth thresholds and user experience metrics. When the data revealed that streaming was only viable when users had 4 Mbps or more, the company paused the rollout until bandwidth grew. This rigorous, data-driven decision kept the brand intact while the infrastructure matured. During the global pandemic, Hastingss recognized the opportunity for streaming to become a lifeline for countless entertainment lovers. Instead of waiting for the market's demands, he acted swiftly and increased the scale of servers, invested in content, and opened special programs for local creators. The result: Netflix added 50 million users in a short time. Hastingss credited this success to fast, transparent decision-making based on clear data. Hastingss also introduced a culture of no rules and no handrails early, which seemingly made the company vulnerable to missteps. But he ensured that his employees were constantly challenged by ambiguous goals, which required them to rely on data and peer accountability. This combination fostered a culture of resilience, where missteps are caught early, assessed, and quickly corrected. Motivational insight: data empowers decisions that are audacious yet grounded. Resilience emerges when failure is treated as a part of feedback loops. Leaders need to create environments where people can risk, fail, and learn quickly. Concrete application example: as a manager, set a clear KPI for a new project. Collect data weekly. If a KPI dips, dive into the root cause and adjust strategy. Do not wait for the next quarter. Encourage your team to voice concerns openly, fostering an environment where miscalculations can be corrected fast. Also, allow a period of no handrails for your employees when learning a new skill. Give them autonomy, but review their progress and provide data-backed feedback. Conclusion and takeaways: embrace data as the compass for bold moves. Create a safety net that turns failures into lessons. Lead with transparency so that the entire organization can thrive in uncertainty. Call to action: if you found value in Hastingss, risk to resilience tactics, hit like, share, and subscribe for more insights on building resilience in any venture. Reflective question: in what ways can embracing data change your organization's response to the next big industry shift? Chapter 4. Title: The Practical Toolbox Applying Hastingss Wisdom Today. Reed Hastings: principles are not limited to tech giants. They translate into actionable strategies for everyone. Here's a practical toolbox for entrepreneurs, managers, and even individuals looking to sharpen their personal brand. First, the KEEP test for career growth. Periodically evaluate the people you collaborate with. It can help you identify toxic relationships and create space for the right energy in your professional ecosystem. Second, the iteration loop for product development. Start with a minimal viable version, measure user response, gather data, refine, and repeat. This reduces the chance of building big but irrelevant solutions. Third, the data-first decision for daily execution. Replace gut feelings with metrics. Whether it's email open rates, click-through rates, or sales conversions, let the numbers guide you. Fourth, the risk acceptance culture for personal growth. Identify a small personal habit or skill you want to acquire. Try it for a week. If it fails, record the learnings. If it works, scale it. This fosters a mindset that embraces failure as a natural part of progress. Lastly, the no handrail for innovation. Provide your team or yourself with open-ended questions instead of instructions. For instance, ask, how could we reduce customer churn? Instead of fix churn by reducing emails. The difference is the empowerment of exploration. Motivational insight. Your workforce thrives when they own both freedom and accountability. Small data-driven experiments are powerful. A habit of reflection transforms failure into progress. Concrete application example. A content creator may apply Hastingss by using a data analytics tool to track which videos bring the most engagement. They then launch a new series in that niche, evaluate viewer growth weekly, and iterate the content accordingly. A team manager may use the keeper test to identify roles that need refinement or people who are truly invested. An individual could start learning a new language by breaking it into microlearning modules, logging daily progress, and adjusting strategies based on the data of retention. Conclusion and takeaways. Freedom plus data equal powerful action. Constant experiments turn uncertainty into learnings. The habits you build influence your personal and professional culture. Call to action. If you find these practical tools useful, like, share, and subscribe to keep the momentum going. Reflective question. Which of these strategic tools will you implement in your next project, and why? Chapter 5. Title: Your Own Reed Hastings Path, Call to Action. Reed Hastings did not become a titan by chance. He did it by weaving freedom, responsibility, risk, data, and resilience into the DNA of everything he did. His legacy is not just Netflix or his philanthropic endeavors. It is a set of living principles that anyone can emulate. If you feel stirred by this blueprint, it's time to translate inspiration into action. Review your current habits. Do you give your team the freedom to innovate? Are you relying on data for decision-making? Do you welcome risk as a pathway to mastery? Start small, pick one principle and embed it in your day. Whether you are a developer, a project manager, or an entrepreneur, adopting Hastingss principles will elevate your performance and broaden your impact. Remember that greatness is not an endpoint. It's a continual journey of learning, iterating, and daring to grow. The steps you take today become the foundations for tomorrow's successes. Conclusion and takeaways. Adopt the freedom and responsibility culture to empower others. Treat risk as an experiment, data as a compass. Keep iterating, learning, and acting. Call to action. If you're ready to chart your own success story, hit like, share, subscribe, and follow us for more journeys of transformational learning. Tell us in the comments which principle you're adopting now and how it changes your life. Reflective question. What is the next bold step you will take today to start living the Reed Hastings philosophy in your own life?